Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Today's Friday, so you already know we're going to be reacting to some strange TikToks. If you're new here and you want to show some support, don't forget to leave a like, comment, or subscribe, you know, stuff like that. Click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And yeah, things are about to get weird. Let's get right to the video.
That's fucking creepy. Pay
She's
close
tweaking.
attention to her eyes the whole time. Look how big they are. And one goes without the other. There's that.
She press? She's there asking questions.
It's almost like she's like an android or something. That's why I kept saying, watch it, watch it.
I've seen clips where
Yeah, that one's kind of obvious. Whoa, that one looks like a guy screaming.
TikTok has a new feature. It just took this picture and made it do this.
I just landed in Houston, and you cannot convince me that airplanes are not portals in this simulation. Hear me out. Every single time I get on an airplane, I get into this mental state. It's kind of like meditation. It's kind of like astral projection, but it's like I'm in between the veil of the spirit world and the 3D regular world. I know this sounds conspiracy theory as hell, but I get the craziest downloads from my higher self every time I'm on a plane. Like every time we take off, I either fall directly to sleep, which is another portal, or I get these downloads, I get clarity, I get answers to questions that have been looming over my soul for years, and I'm convinced that that's why travel is so important, and I think it expands us in a way, and this is a time where all of us are called to be more expanded and more awakened. I wasn't gonna post this video, but I said fuck it, because somebody gotta feel me on this.
Here I go again to it. Can anybody tell me what this black box is?
It's Ghostbusters.
Oh, if you can't tell me, well, that's the box that they used in the Ghostbusters to collect those ghosts, or depending how you look at it, those energies, those souls. Can anybody tell me what this is right here? Yes, that is a black box. That is a black box on a plane. Yes. A black box, okay? Does anybody remember this movie here?
Soul Plane. I haven't seen that in years.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just saying. Look, every time there's a crash, a plane crash, they're always finding that black box. Always. Like, they can clearly see how a plane falls out the sky, but they still need the black box. I'm just saying. Could there be a correlation? Is there a possibility? Get my drift? I'll be making a video on this black box too in a little bit. But anyways, is there a possibility that every time these planes crash, supposedly, okay, because that's bullshit, that the people's souls are captured by this box? And don't get me started on that Air India crash, okay? You already know what I think. I think that whole shit is orchestrated. I mean, Air India, AI. This black box is AI. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people won't tell you that. Have no clue. And I bet you it's going to be the people who are NPCs that are going to get on my comment and tell me that that's just a flight recorder, just to record the flight and the cockpit conversations and shit like that. With that being said, remain beautiful and stay powerful, y'all.
Man, I don't know what to think about this because, like, I don't think they'd be able to take souls, but as far as like taking your energy, I think they could do that. Just think of how much fear would be generated from a crash. So I can see them doing that for sure. I don't know about the soul part. That thing's like almost indestructible, ain't it?
2 days ago, I was in a car crash. I got cut up, all around, nothing serious. Within 10 minutes, EMT arrived and injected me with something. And I said, no. And they're like, just gonna sedate you, boss. I woke up 8 hours later somehow with a vent, IV, catheter, whole 9 yards. I instinctively, without even thinking, pulled out the vent, pulled out the IV, pulled out the catheter, which was horrendous. And I walked to the door and I opened it and staff was sitting there and I said, why did you vent me? Then one of the nurses said, you have COVID. I said, what drugs did you put me on? What was coming through that IV? They just looked at each other like, what do we do? What do we say? I think that they had no intention for me to ever wake up, and I would have been classified and counted as someone that died of COVID in the hospital.
You got COVID.
I'm trying desperately to get a hold of anybody that has a platform. I sincerely need this story to be heard. Thank you so much, and I'm so happy to be alive. I can't believe I woke up. Thank you.
So this thing fell in a neighborhood last night. Luckily, it missed all the houses and cars and people. Everyone was safe. Does anyone know what it is?
Can you imagine getting taken out by that?
Steak and lobster. You know what that means. We are going to war. To war we are going. I'm eat good now.
Y'all need to see this video. I'm not even joking. TikTok, stop hiding my videos. It's the same exact footage that every other news source is posting. There's a reason that all my videos are viral everywhere but here. The doomsday plane that was used on 911, yeah, it just took a surprise trip to DC. This very day marks the countdown to the end. After you watch this video, I think that you will agree. We had the Tel Aviv stock exchange basically blown up, but we also had hospitals blown up. We also had people being arrested in Jerusalem for reporting the news. Even crazier, we had Russian intelligence broadcasting that the US and Europe could not pick up, that could only be picked up in Japan or China, and they were able to take this video of it. 24 hours ago, ex-CIA came on this show and told Matt Gaetz that we were about to have a crazy hacking and intelligence hack that happened. Then I woke up today, about 12 hours later, and we have been hacked by what they say was Iran, where 16 billion passwords, Facebook, Google, Apple, everything you use has all been breached. And everyone's passwords are on the open market now. I wonder why social media would be affected. By the way, look into the new law in Texas that's being drafted about social media, because they're banning certain platforms that say certain things. And as if from a sign of God himself, like the Tower of Babel, at the same time all this is happening, we had their little starship just completely freaking explode. Now, going back to the arrests that took place in Israel because they were recording the war, maybe supporting people they did not want, and also the laws being passed in Texas, Iran's been without internet for like 12 to 24 hours. At the same time, I've been telling you guys the IDF was telling people not to record what was happening. And then they officially banned covering the news in Israel unless they had pre-approval. Remember, I was telling you guys all that stuff. I also told you how the Iranians came out yesterday and said they had control over the Israeli airspace. And then the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, some markets, and our hospitals were all blown up. By the way, these are their missiles. They're freaking crazy. Even crazier, Iran know this is literally world conflict, as they are now not allowing people to withdraw money and they're going crazy. And yes, the United States is joining this war, allegedly. My opinion, they're just trying to juke them by saying that they don't know yet, just like the first night of attacks. We'll come back to that. If you look right beside me, you can see their missiles going around in the background. That's how freaking fast they are. And now we're seeing a certain country's pro-military ads on YouTube for all the children and young adults watching YouTube.
Why is this on YouTube?
Great question. Oh, and did I mention that China is now active in the Persian Gulf? So it's not just Russia, it's also China, it's also North Korea. I've been showing you and covering this since the beginning, and half people did not want to believe that anything I was showing was real. Do you believe me now? Every video and image I've shown has been real. Rocket impacts have been raining on Israel this whole entire time, like I've been showing you. And one country, whether purposely or not, has definitely been losing, and it's not Iran. Iran! Shut up. I'll update y'all later with the facts. Stop trusting people who only show you half the story.
Anybody that's been looking into this type of stuff for a long time knows, like, this type of stuff has been talked about. I remember it being talked about in 2012. And I always remember them saying who was going to be the first one to strike. And with the way it's looking, it looks like they might be right.
Gotta document my death with this one. Holy crap. Oh my god!
He almost called it. Oh, I've never seen lightning with a rainbow.
Bro, so look at this fucking shit here, dog. Homeboy just ate one of these cheeses.
Is it all expired?
Wait, just wait.
Ugh.
This is like green eggs and ham or some shit.
Morgan Ashley live for us in studio tonight. Good evening, Morgan.
Good evening, Sean. So Representative Scott spoke this morning at a legislative committee in Boise. She's worried about the possibility that people are eating other people and may not know they're doing so. She says with the rise in human composting, which is legal in several states as a means of dealing with human remains, she was concerned about what other uses may be found. During today's meeting, she explains what finally convinced her to act.
I was on a plane this summer, and I was watching, you just kind of randomly go through channels, and I watched a video of some food show, and the three contestants tasted the food, and they had to guess what was in it. It was some kind of a sausage. And one of the options they told these people that was in the food was human flesh. And I thought, at that point, and this was on a plane this year, I thought, this is going to be normalized at some point. The way our society's going and the direction we're going, this is going to be normalized.
Does anyone remember back in the 90s when the Olsen twins had their iconic musical party series? They had SeaWorld Adventure, Hotel Whodunit, Funhouse Mystery, but there was one that really stuck out to me, and it was called Sleepover Party. This one released back in 1995, and in this series, they had a song called Give Me Pizza. The weird thing is not only the fact that they had a bunch of kids singing about pizza, they also had one of the girls say, leave the eyeballs out. They had one of the girls saying, don't forget to add the sauce, and then another girl adding whipped cream on a piece. And knowing what we know now about them, it's really hard to count anything out. I'm gonna play the song for y'all, and y'all let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comments.
That's right, one super giant pizza, plain, nothing on it, and I'd like that delivered as soon as possible.
Girls, your pizza's here.
Thank you.
That was quick.
Okay, guys, we've cleaned out the refrigerator. I think we're just about ready to build the perfect pizza. Give me pizza! P-I-Z-Z-A.
Ain't no way.
Give me pizza! P-I-Z-Z-A. Now we're feeling kind of hungry. We gotta make a munchie. Time to make our pizza. As big as some countries. How much pizza do you think we can chow? More than our parents would ever allow. We're gonna make a master pizza. A work of art like the Mona Lisa. It's gotta be high like the Tower of Pisa. But to get there, you don't need a visa. Pizza!
What am I watching?
P-I-Z-Z-A. Give me pizza! Did I happen to say, I want pizza! P-I-Z-Z-A. I want pizza! Hey! Are you ready to play? Now set down the pizza and bring me some chicken. Throw it on top and make the finger licking. Guacamole, meatball, whipped cream pouring like waterfalls.
This is a great example of someone who has light in their eyes and someone who don't, clearly. This is Steven Spielberg and Heather O'Rourke. Am I the only one who sees it? The look in his eye. And what symbol is she making? What do her eyes say, and what do his? I don't like these pictures. I'm okay with this picture. You can see the difference, right? Or do you choose to be blind to it? If you said blind, you can look now. Talk about having friends in low places. Here he is with the Prince of Persia. And he was boys with Roman Polanski. I know you know who that is. Yeah, the one who was finally arrested after fleeing for 31 years. And of course, he was arrested for, you know, Obama gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It's because he's free and we're dumb. Let's get back to Heather O'Rourke. Who in the world is this weirdo she's with? Is that Jefferson from Married with Children? This is how Heather came to be in American cinematic pop culture. Heather one day was sitting alone in the MGM commissary and she was approached by a stranger. You know who that stranger was? Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg gave her first audition, but she laughed at a stuffed animal. Wow, what a weird kid. And he was looking for a 6-year-old. She was only 5, but he saw something in her and asked her to come in a second time with a scary storybook. He asked her to scream a lot. She screamed until she broke down in tears. Heather would go on to star in the hit movie Poltergeist, which was shot in 1982. But oddly enough, in the movie, there was a poster on the wall that said 1988 Super Bowl. Did anything interesting happen on that day? It marked the day young Poltergeist star Heather O'Rourke fell fatally ill and consequently died the following day with a confirmed report of septic shock due to intestinal stenosis. Look at all the other deaths surrounding that movie as well. So Heather dies on February 1st, 1988. Now fast forward that a little time. On July 25th, 1988, Judith Barcy and her mother Maria were killed in a double murder-suicide committed in their home by their father. Judith just finished up the movie The Land Before Time that was produced by none other than Steven Spielberg. She played Ducky, one of my favorite characters. The Land Before Time would be released the year of her passing. That wasn't the first time there had been deaths around a movie that Steven Spielberg was associated with. In 1985, director Steven Spielberg and 2 associates had been accused of being involved in illegally hiring 2 child actors who were killed on the set of the Twilight Zone movie. Do you remember George McFly from Back to the Future, Crispin Glover? He had some choice words to say about Steven Spielberg. Now, these are just allegations, but he said that the director is guilty of the very thing Weinstein was convicted of. He wasn't the only actor who had allegations against Steven. This is Isaac Cappy, who was in Thor and Terminator Salvation. This one isn't known as much. This is Diana Napoles. She was a child protection worker for nearly 10 years before leaving in 1996. Diana alleged that Steven Spielberg and Jennifer Love Hewitt were part of a satanic cult which was using psychotronic weaponry to control her mind. She also spoke about the NSA's ability to use its directed energy weapons to disrupt the natural energy meridians in the body. But she was diagnosed with delusional disorder and paranoid schizophrenia. I went and looked up one of the other people she accused, Elizabeth Loftus, an American psychologist who's known in relation to the misinformation effect and false memory. She also provided expert testimony or consultation for the legal teams of Ghislaine Maxwell, Harvey Weinstein, O.J. Simpson, and Ted Bundy. She was an expert on the research phenomenon called false memory. That sounds like mind control, telling people their memories are false. But the jury caught her slipping in her first case where Loftus claimed that the potential of financial rewards could cause a human to create a false traumatic memory. When asked about the basis of her theory by a jury, she said, "I am not aware of any studies on that, but based on my research, it's definitely plausible." What research? There's no studies. But back to the father of the year, Steven Spielberg. His daughter gave a tell-all interview about being sexually abused by predators growing up and her aspirations to be a sex worker. Isn't this your kid? What predators? Can we know their names? Her aspirations to be a sex worker. Don't you guys have money? Why is she doing that again? Did you know that him and Leonardo DiCaprio bought the Wizard of Oz ruby slippers? What do they want with some red shoes? Those ruby slippers are from this movie, correct? He was a big fan of the Bush War in Iraq. You're probably thinking George Bush is a Republican. Steven Spielberg is a big Dem donor. But if you know, like I know, all these families are together. Trump exposed them on a mass level. We know why none of them like Trump.
I can't stand these people.
So what's Steven been up to in 2024? Nothing. That's good. People quit worshiping celebrities. We praise actors who play firefighters and forget to thank actual firefighters. Movies humanize dehumanization. They get to cross the line with no repercussions, then play it off as edgy art. Imagine waking up from the simulation you're in and having to give an account of your life at every step with every thought you've ever had in front of anyone who's ever been. Welcome to the rabbit hole.
796 dead babies were just discovered in a septic tank underneath a home for unwed mothers run by Catholic nuns in Ireland. A total of 798 children have died in total at this house, and only 2 of them were buried. The other 796 were thrown in the septic tank called the pit. These deaths happened between the years of 1925 and 1961. We do not yet know why they threw these babies in a septic tank, or the pit, as they horrifyingly called it. The specific area of Ireland where this happened was Tuam, but wow. Almost 800 are expected to be found in this septic tank. I don't believe they have a solid head count yet, but we know that 796 babies' corpses are missing. That's all for now. I will update you guys when anything new pops up.
Have y'all seen videos of this guy? This guy, he walks around LA, supposedly. People catch him in different places. He just walks around, he just watches. And he has this thing on his head. I thought it was his head. When I first saw him, I thought he was an alien. But people catch him on video walking around LA all over the place, and he just watches. Well, I've been watching.
Is that Dan Aykroyd?
I've been watching his videos. And you see that book? He's always carrying that book, like I said. I put that image in the Google Lens. You know what it came up to be? Naturum Demonto, Necronomicon. Now, I don't know enough about this Evil Dead book, but I'm gonna find out. But what I need is anybody from LA who knows any more about him. And all the videos I've seen, I've only seen him speak to one person. He was a homeless guy at a bench, and he spoke to him briefly, and then he just kept on going. But he's just always walking like this with that book, and I'm gonna find out what that is.
I've posted too many videos about this, but I'm beginning to lose my mind. This is what it looks like every day for about 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. I don't even know anymore. I have been taking a picture of a day. It's so bad that last Wednesday, people were like, oh, it's a sunny day, because there was sun peeking through white. It wasn't a sunny day. There were no blue skies. We haven't seen blue skies in maybe a year. And I don't care. I'm over it. This is not normal. Wall to wall, gray skies every day for months. When are people going to wake up? It's happening all over the country. All over.
So is this normal to us, New York? Is this normal? This is normal weather, you mean? So we get this 10 days straight? This is normal. This is so abnormal. All night, all day, you can't see anything in front of you. Everything is completely fogged out. It kind of looks like we're at war in the United States, don't it? Kind of looks like what Israel looks like, you know, in the daytime and at night. I wonder what they're doing to us now, don't you? I think we should start questioning this. I think everybody on TikTok needs to question what's going on with this weather and why it looks like this, because we've never had weather like this during the summertime. I mean, come on now.
Yo, I'm praying.
I don't want to blow up, dude.
I don't want to blow up either.
I don't want to blow up.
But
I don't want to blow up.
That's $70 worth of gas. It's still going. Yo. That's you?
Okay, so my wife was scrolling around on Facebook and somebody put these coordinates in and said, can anybody tell me about this spot? So she put these coordinates in right here, and then so then she zooms in on it. And it's this island right here. Okay. This is island right here. And there's like a couple structures and stuff, and she didn't really know what she was really looking for. There's no street view right there or anything, so she started looking around over here on these islands and stuff, but then she saw this little dot right here. And so she zoomed in, and zoomed in, and zoomed in. The dot's still there. Zoomed in, dot's still there. Then she realized, oh, it's a street view or like a picture or something. So you click on it. What the fuck is that?
Pretty sure people can insert photos in certain spots.
It looks like it's like underwater and shit. What the fuck is that?
That's what that's gotta be.
That's terrifying.
Ladies and gentlemen, check this out. All right, so here you see a 5G tower pole and a warning sign, okay? Let me read the top part. Warning, this is a 5G small cell tower, a small cell tower, a small one. This is a small one, okay? So this is a 5G small cell tower. The signals emitted by this tower are damaging to humans, animals, and plants. I thought they said that wasn't harmful to anything. I thought this was all safe. Matter of fact, I remember them saying 5G was even safer than 4G and 3G.
They referred us to a national group that represents this industry, which has said radio frequency energy from wireless networks has not been shown to cause health problems.
Look at the sign. All right. So at the bottom, you can see where it says exposures can cause. Let me read some of these. Headaches, insomnia, cognitive fog, fatigue, tinnitus, vision problems. All right, and here we go, okay? Circled in yellow for all of you non-sayers and all of you non-believers thinking I'm just a kooky black guy. 5G is gonna cause you flu. Like, yeah, bro. Read what's in the yellow circle, okay? The golden circle. What does it say? Heart issues, flu-like symptoms, muscle and nervous system problems. Come on now. I don't be talking just to talk.
I still gotta try this.
People can't tell. You can't say that these people aren't
giving off these MAC addresses now. You really can't. So I'm back, yeah, on the field, yeah. It's about 9 o'clock at night. I'm in the same place where I was the other day with the players, with the under 12s training day thing. So look, there's no numbers here now. So you can see this. Picking up nothing. Here. You can see where I am. We've got this moulding cell thing that came up last time. That must be something inside this. There's like a warehouse there. You can see that nothing's coming up. Look, no numbers. Okay.
So this right here is the first time I looked at the Pfizer vials with Dr. David Nixon under the microscope. So you see this metallic background noise, and no, this is not Brownian movement. These are actually biosensors. They're blinking lights that look like quantum dot technology. They change colors and they emit light. And they actually work to self-assemble this metallic structure here. And so then the next step from there was Dr. David Nixon had this drop of the Pfizer vial dry under the microscope, and it was developing microchips, including these connection cables that were considered by our electrical engineer and nanotechnology engineers that we consulted with as possible optical communication cables between these microchips.
The 248-page patent for the Moderna technology that was administered to people in the COVID shots was filed in 2020. The patent lists several embodiments or variations of this technology. And while we don't know who got what embodiment, we know that several different batch numbers were deployed, and some were far more deadlier than others. According to the Moderna patent, this technology contains self-assembled nanoparticles, and in certain variations, these nanoparticles can be used for the controlled release of compounds once they are in the human body. These lipid nanoparticles are encapsulated into a polymer hydrogel, a controlled release coating that includes polyvinyls. This has been verified by Anna Mielchia and Clifford Carnicom's research. In a 2013 TED-Med talk, Dr. Ido Bachelet says that these nanorobots have already been successfully developed in Israel, and that they can be injected into the human body with a basic syringe. He shows an image of what they look like, and they appear to be the same structures that the fifth column found in their research and claimed was powered by 5G, which was confirmed by Dr. Bachelet.
My team developed nanorobots that carry antennae. These antennae are made from metal nanoparticles. Now, the antenna enabled the nanobots to respond to externally applied electromagnetic fields. So these versions of nanobots can actually be activated with the press of a button on a joystick.
In the following video, it is being discussed by developers in 2015.
The nanorobot we designed and fabricated is a machine that can be programmed to autonomously recognize target cells and deliver payloads to those cells.
The basic idea is to make a cage or a basket that protects a fragile or toxic or precious payload and only releases it when it's at the right moment.
The nanorobot that we designed actually looks like an open-ended barrel or a clamshell that has two halves. So the two halves of this open-ended barrel or clamshell are linked together by flexible DNA hinges, and the entire structure is held shut by latches or locks that are actually DNA double helices. The way it works is that in the absence of the key, which is a molecular protein, the duplexes are held sufficiently strong to maintain the entire structure closed. But when the key is present, that piece of DNA that we designed to recognize that key switches to bind to the key, and the duplex zips open.
The work of Todd Callender's team at vaxchoice.com have concluded that these shots contain a variety of synthetic pathogens that can be released with external 5G frequencies. The Moderna patent describes these nanoparticle mimics, which mimic the delivery of a variety of pathogens, and lists over 100 of them within the patent. And according to the work at VaxChoice, these synthetic pathogens each have an IP address. They are cataloged by the Department of Energy, and they use cesium-137, which we have been contaminated with from the environment, as a building block for their construction within our bodies using external frequency. And their research shows that the Microsoft patent filed in 2020, 060606, cryptocurrency system using body activity data, is now in effect, and that this technology is turning the human body into an antenna, which can output energy, meaning that humans are being turned into batteries to fuel the digital AI prison that is being built around us. And if you choose not to comply, the technology includes a built-in kill switch. Thanks to many independent researchers and scientists, we are figuring out their agenda, but they continue to walk freely among us, unrestrained by any justice whatsoever.
Now, say this stuff is true. I wonder if there's a way for people to get it out of their body. I'm gonna have to look into that because I'm really curious. Like, is there a way you can detox yourself and get it out? Because if so, people need to know that for sure.
We probably should get our black ass out now. Chad, we probably should.
Yeah, get out of there.
It's about to get crazy. We probably should get our black ass out right now, Chad. What up, young fella? Excuse me.
Yeah, but what is the point of this, though? Like, what is the point of this? Like, there's gargoyles overlooking all of the heart of downtown. Even if it was chiseled, like, who fucking paid and wanted this to be a part of it? Like, this is deep, dark energy shit, if you ask me. Like, you know my conspiracy theory brain, like, this don't make no fucking sense to me. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what? That's stupid extra. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's just gargoyle after gargoyle. If these all were handcrafted back in the 1900s, so what? This is like a year job? Like a year job for these guys? What is it? We got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Oh my god. 27, 30. There is 33 gargoyles on this shit.
I love that number.
33rd degree Mason is the top Mason. Oh my god. That is exactly how many gargoyles are on the top of this building. Is 30 fucking 3. That's fucking disgusting. This is the most Masonic shit I've ever seen.
Y'all gotta see this shit right here. Look at this cloud, y'all. Does it look like someone's face to you? This is like the second face I've seen in this huge cloud right here. Look at that.
It looks like it.
That is some creepy shit,
A little bit.
I don't know
Those
if y'all
do
can
look
see
like
what I see,
horns,
but
though.
that is one creepy ass cloud. It just keeps changing to demonic fucking faces. Fuck this shit.
What if I told you that you have a near invisible Solomon's Temple in your pocket right now, or technically your hand? A literal exact model of Solomon's Temple. Also not a coincidence, called a temple because one day it's designed to go in your temple, in your forehead, the thing that's in your hand. Also not a coincidence, but definitely related to the final form of the Mark of the Beast. This tiny electric temple couldn't have a version of you in there, could it? Brain swap, mind unload, digital twin style idea. Quantum real-time, real-world simulations, quantum version of you in there. Ant-Man style. Sounds wild, right? No way it could be possible. Don't worry, it's just science fiction. That's not science fiction. By the way, I'm talking about quantum chips and how they're exactly designed, literally, purposely, intentionally to be Solomon's temple. Check it out. The evolution of the microchip into the quantum chip. Look at these specific layovers. The crazy microchip history as well as the technology explosion all happening around the Roswell and 1948 when biblical prophetic things started happening, involving nations of the world being reborn. This whole timeline of reverse engineered alien tech, which is code words for a fallen angel given technology through rituals, by the way, for a mass exchange later. Check out ENIAC, the first living brain. Now look at that backwards, it's actually the word Cain, you know, the serpent seed. Microchips, quantum chips, angel intelligence. Check out this evolution in the endgame. Quick bullet point style things that are also not coincidences. Cities looking exactly like motherboards. Brain swap capabilities and beyond. Mirroring Batman Forever villain plot capability themes, even called the brain drain. But going even further. AI possession being totally possible and happening as our mind uploads. What's inside the phone is actually a quantum brain. Have you ever experienced soul weight phenomena? Info and data weigh nothing, but many people experience a phenomenon where their phone weighs more, similar to a soul weight study done on the human soul when it leaves the body. I'll talk about all these things and more on my YouTube channel. Also things like how the Internet of Body, Internet of Things, and Internet of Behavior are all connected. Basically everything being connected to the Internet being connected to your body, and your behavior being completely quantum uploaded, studied, and even known better than you. All occult science, fallen angel-led shadow societies and their technology and their endgame. Check out how wild this is. All the fallen angels with their combined knowledge actually convinced and taught mankind how to build something that they couldn't do themselves, but with their combined knowledge and our help they could. Read the human mind. Except it goes way deeper than that. Ultimate alchemy, grand work, recircling back to the spiritual technology of your body, the temple, being connected to this quantum temple, which again will go in your temple. Also on the human body, not a coincidence how the jaw is like Jah as in Yah, and out of it comes the word, which Jesus is the word. Just a coincidence? How about yawn and Yah again? And even when people sneeze, it sounds like they're saying Yeshua, the holy name, and that's really why people say God bless you. All of that's completely unrelated to what I go into further on my YouTube channel, but I will do a future episode on words and secrets hidden within them. So for more on these topics, plus Tesla, ancient Egypt, how your technology, brain swap plots, and way more than that for 53 minutes on my YouTube channel, The Savage Truth. See you there. Oh, and remember in all this madness, don't forget, the king is coming back.
Alright, you guys, that's going to be it for the video today. If you made it all the way to the end, don't forget to leave a like, comment, or subscribe, you know, stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm going to be leaving a link to the Discord down below, so make sure you go ahead and join there. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Make sure you guys stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.